If you are a new provider or an aspiring care provider, then this video is for you. In this video, I'm going to be talking about the different client types, how to match demand, and that all important topic that everyone wants to talk about, revenue. So if this interests you, you're in the right place. Hi. My name is Cherish, and I am a qualified social worker. I am a care consultant, as well as founder of care businesses here in the UK. So I know all too well what I am talking about. I want to break down what every new provider needs to know to launch your service in the most profitable and sustainable way. In this video, we are diving into one of the most common and costly mistakes that new providers make. You see, trying to support every type of client without a clear plan or pricing strategy is often a costly mistake. So let's get clear on who you are here to support and how that affects your business. I'm talking about adults in this video, but this can apply to children. It's the same thing. There are different types of people who will need your support. Most services tend to cater to people with learning disabilities, people on the autistic spectrum, people with mental health needs, physical disabilities, or clients with more complex or dual diagnosis. Now, here's the thing. Each of these client groups comes with different levels of support needs, risks, and funding expectations. Choosing the right client type isn't just about demand, it's about what your team can manage and what your service is set up for, whether that's the property, whether that's your care team. Understanding support levels. Let's break it down really simply. Low level needs. These are people who might need a few hours of support per week, doing things like budgeting, reminders, or support with community access. Then we have medium needs. These tend to be people who require daily support, support with their personal care, support with managing their medication, routines, and maybe even emotional regulation. And then we have what we call high complex needs. These tend to be people that require 24/7 staffing, 2-to-1 ratios. They tend to have behaviors that challenge. They might have dual diagnosis. They might require positive behavioral support planning, and so on. Complex needs doesn't have a one straightforward definition. I tend to put them into two categories, and they tend to have these two sort of issues, so to speak. These tend to be people that have emotional or mental health needs, as well as physical health needs. And this is what creates that complexity in caring for them. The type of need is often directly tied to the revenue that is generated from caring for that client. When people hear this, they tend to think, oh, well, I'll go for the high needs and complex care. However, it's important that you are honest. Do you actually have the infrastructure to support complex needs? Do you have the right staff to support people with complex needs? Or is it safer for you to start with medium support packages and with time and experience grow to be able to then cater to those with more complex and challenging needs? Now, I mentioned this earlier, but let's look at how client type affects revenue. Here's what no one tells you when you're setting up. as I mentioned before, revenue is directly tied to the support hours and client complexity, not just the number of service users that you have. I'm going to give this example, particularly around supported living. So let's say you have a low needs client, they might bring in, say, £300 a week. A high needs, jointly funded client could generate up to £3,000 or more a week, but only if you can deliver the care safely. And these rates aren't standard, they vary. Your revenue is determined on a number of reasons: your region, the local authority, the funding source. Is it social care versus the NHS? And most importantly, your negotiation and evidence of value. These are some of the common mistakes I see. Let me be direct. Don't say yes to every referral just so that you can either fill rooms or increase the number of people that you are caring for. Don't price high need clients like they're low need. One of the key things in most areas of life is start as you mean to go on. So if you think that you just want to get these clients, so to call them, whether you call them clients, service users, citizens, they all have different names that people like to call them, but don't price low just to get that referral in the door. Because once you get that person in your service, if you need to increase the amount of care that they are given, this can often be a challenge. It's always better for you to price higher and negotiate down than to underprice your service. Another one is don't just target complex placements. If your staff and or your property aren't ready to accommodate those people and their needs. And don't just assume the council will tell you what to charge, because they won't. This is a business built around people, and every single one is different. That means your pricing, your planning, and your support models need to reflect just that. And this is one of the issues that I find that a lot of new providers, especially people who have very limited operational knowledge of care, struggle, because there isn't a linear cost. It's not, this is the price of this, and so this is what you get per person. It's so variable. You could have a client that needs 10 hours of care. You can have a client that needs 30 hours of care. You can have another client that needs 40 hours of care. These are weekly numbers, by the way. We tend to operate on weeks in the care industry. So prices can be so variable. The region in which you're located, the place and authorities, local authorities, NHS funded. There are so many different variables. So it can be really challenging if you don't have experience to wrap your head around the revenue model and trying to forecast. It's very important in this industry that you maintain a level of flexibility in your approach. This is one of the keys to success in this industry. When I have coached people and they are very fixed, because a lot of people are, to be honest, even if they've been in various different businesses, the variability in the care industry is so much that often people struggle to really wrap their heads around it. And if they're looking for certainties and guarantees, you're most likely going to be disappointed. So, if you want help getting this right, if you want to build a care business that's sustainable and not just reactive, this is exactly the kind of work I do with my consultancy clients. From helping them choose the right type of clients to structuring support hours and representing your service to commissioners in the right way, I can help you build it right from the ground up. So check out the description box below. There will be a link to consultations. And if you have stayed this far, please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share to any other providers or any other people that might find this video useful. And don't miss out on the next video where I'll be talking about staffing, who you need, what roles matter, and how to stay compliant from day one. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you again in the next video. Take care. Bye.